Remember WRFN, the radio station at NKU? Remember them? Remember them? I used to be on WRFN. Like back around 1993 and 1994, I was on WRFN over at NKU. That's right, they had a radio station. It didn't go out over the air, except for this one part down by the dorms. There was this one area where you could pick it up on a car radio, supposedly. So really, that even though it was unlicensed, for some reason you could pick it up over down by the dorms. I remember how on WRFN, there's lots of memories associated with that place. I don't know I don't know what's up there now. I don't know what's in the studio for it now or what. But I remember people. I remember the studio for it always smelled funny because people would leave rotting garbage laying around. They did. People used to leave rotting garbage laying around WRFN. And it stunk up the place. And rotting food. And also, there was these two turntables there. They had these two turntables next to each other. And people would shove like rotting food down under it. There's two turntables on top of a cabinet. And people would drop like garbage down in there. And a lot of it was like old food and parts of beverage cups and stuff like that, and straws. And a lot of it was paper. That's right. People drop paper down there. There's a lot of electrical wires down there. And I thought it was going to become a fire hazard. That's right. Because there was all these electrical wires. There's so much paper down there that it looked like it was going to become a fire hazard. And I remember over the air, they had a lot of stuff. We used to say stuff that was cool over the air. Like the Outfield. Like I remember the band, the Outfield. Remember them? I remember one time, there was at least once, I was on the air and I said, now, here's the Outfield playing baseball. Seriously, I said that. I said, right now, here's the Outfield playing baseball. Baseball, that's right. I said that. It went out over the air like that. I said that over the air. Baseball. And there was one other time. I remember they had this pre-recorded liner. Like between songs, they had like a cartridge that had these pre-recorded these liners and stuff. These little brief station identifications. And one of them said, "The only station." It was one of the other DJs. It went, "The only station that leaves the light on in the bathroom." And then I broke it. And there was a couple times they had that liner that said that. The only station that leaves the light on in the bathroom. And there's a couple times I broke in and said, "So you can baste." I said that over the air. Another thing was the Soup Dragons. That was the very first song I ever played on WRFN. It was the song by the Soup Dragons. Remember that? And after it, I said, "That was the Poop Dragons. I mean the Soup Dragons." Remember that? People thought it was hilarious when I said that. People just thought it was hilarious when I called them the Poop Dragons. But I remember, and another thing like that was that song by Ray Parker. There's this song by Ray Parker Jr. That's right, the Who You Gonna Call guy. Remember him? Well, anyway, there was this song by Ray Parker Jr. And I remember it said, "Makes me wanna grab my guitar and play with it all night long." And then after the song, I said, "Yeah, right, Ray. You're probably gonna grab something else and play with it all night long." I said that over the air. That's right. It was broadcast that way. That little remark was broadcast over the air. And people always used to say, the Log Man, like Kenny Loggins. Like I remember, they were still obsessed with with the Kenny Loggins song. I'm alright. Remember that song? They were still obsessed with that on WRFN. They still played it constantly, even though it was 15 years old then. They still played it constantly. And I remember one time I said, that was the Log Man. And other things like that was how Eric Clapton, they always called him the Clap Man. You know, Eric Clapton could actually sue WRFN if he knew that we were calling him that over the air. So anyway, those are some WRFN memories. That's right. And the whole place stunk really bad. And wow, a Sharpie! That was another one. They had that, there was this, it was in the back, the studio. They had like this block where you could like splice tapes on. You could take like audio cassettes and splice them. And you were never supposed to write on it. But I don't remember whether it was me or somebody else that did this. We wrote, because we had like those Sharpie markers, and there's one time we wrote, wow, a Sharpie on the block where we did that. Wow, a Sharpie. It was in the back, the back room studio. And people used to break the equipment on WRFN. And I remember how there was and people leave the records piled up on the floor, like the record albums and stuff, like the 45s and record albums piled up on the floor. Then they'd come into the studio and they'd kick them around, like there would be a big stack of records on the floor, and they'd try stumbling through to the chair. They'd kick the records across the floor, and they would be ruined after that, because that's not good for records to kick them across the floor. They didn't take care of their records there. That's right, they just let the records pile up. That's how bad. But anyway, those are some memories of WRFN. That's right, WRFN, the radio station up at NKU, where I used to be on that station in the mid-90s.